Here is my Japanese consolidation. You're going to hear some kid noises in the background because it's just me and the kids tonight. So Japan wasn't shipping to the United States through all of COVID, and they're still not doing airmail, but they are doing EMS. So this is the first that I could get these packages out of the country, and this is about a year and a half worth of consolidation, which is about twice as much as my normal consolidation. This is 109 pieces of mail, almost all of it magic oddities. So I thought, people might like to see an opening of this stuff. But yeah, this is like twice the size of a normal Japanese consolidation for me. I guess I'll just start from the top and work my way to the bottom. Gotta get my razor knife. Now I always feel awkward doing these because I never know how to hold stuff. I don't have a tripod for my camera. Let me see if I can figure something out. Alright, so hopefully I've got it sorted. What I've got here are a couple boxes of unsorted misprints, and it looks like my phone will just sit right here in this little cradle. And then I can open these things using two hands. I always find it interesting, when people package things in weird random packaging. Usually that's when I get stuff out of South America or Eastern Europe. I get the really weird stuff, but I like this one. These high-density data cassettes. Let's see what's in here. So this is a Japanese introductory two-player box set. These things are incredibly rare, even in Japan, although there is a more rare version, which is the gift box, which is actual unobtainium. And this one, let me see if oh yeah, so it is opened here on the side, but it looks like all the guts are complete. Now, these cards are supposedly identical to Japanese white-bordered 4th edition cards. One of the reasons that I'm targeting these, though, is to actually check and see whether they're the same or not. Alright, I'm going to check my audio quality with the phone in the box before we continue. Alright, misprint cradle seems fine. I am going to angle it slightly to get my kid out of the shot. Maybe I'll just move the box over like this. There we go. And now I have a stack of envelopes, so I can just go through these hopefully fairly quickly. Like I said, there's 109 separate packages in here. Okay, so this one is, it looks like one of the pre-release flyers that they send to the retailers. Yep. There we go. So that looks like Saviors of Kamigawa? Betrayers of Kamigawa, yeah. And so they would send these out to retailers with a preview card that is, it's a preview card, but it's identical to the release version. But they used to send these out to stores before the set came out or when the set came out to promote the sets. Alright, this is cards, which I expect most of these packages to be, are going to be singles, I think. Let's see. Oh, that is really sturdy. Let's see what these are. Oh, okay. So this is an extremely cyan root spider, and they went ahead and sent a normal comparison copy along with it. And yeah, I mean, I know it's like a meme, but that is so much more gorgeous in person than it's going to show up, you know, than it originally showed up or will show up in my pictures. Okay, I gotta be careful with this one. Like, usually you can just like hold an envelope up to the light and see where it's safe to cut, but this one just feels like it goes all the way to the edge, so I'm wondering if there might be documentation in here, or maybe it's like actually a document that I purchased. So I gotta be slightly more careful opening it up. One time I accidentally cut a corner off of a revised Savannah when I was being incautious opening envelopes. Okay, yeah, so it's just like a backer board that they stuck in there. And the actual thing is another card, and the packaging looks identical to the last one, so I'm assuming that this is going to be another one of those dark cyan dealios. Yep. Giant oyster. This one is for my own private collection. That last one is going to go to a spider collector, I think. Ooh, this one's a bit beefier. Huh. And this one has already been opened. I know that this thing was held up in customs, but I guess it could have been the consolidator too. Okay, so this is a 1996 Magic Fanny Pack, still in the original bag. Yep. With leather tassels. Okay, it opens. The quality and craftsmanship on this is really quite good. Yep. Fanny packs need to make a comeback. Alright, what are you? I'm wondering if all of these, like, teal envelopes are from the same guy. Because I think they're a misprint collector, and I did end up getting a lot of stuff. Well, you know, like, you get on the same wavelength as people and become a repeat customer. So this one, huh, yeah, they stuck a little freebie in there. This one is Super Cyan Roots. I like green cards, so I might keep this one. It's very impressive. Very impressive, especially if I'm getting rid of that root spider. I'm going to need a green one to hold on to. I actually don't remember how many of these I bought. Like I said, these have been gathering for about a year and a half. Oh, this one looks a little different. All right. Oh yeah. This is something different entirely. So it looks like in the sleeve, these are definitely heavily off-centered cards. So all the rest of these look like they're just little padding, like freebies that they threw in. Look at those later, because sometimes, you know, people will throw in like freebie cards and not even realize that they're misprinted or weird or something. But all of these are Mirage rares, and I think almost, if not all of these, are also reserve list. And they're not quite, you know, showing another card, but they all have the little alignment dots. So there's an Early Harvest, Reparations, Unfulfilled Desires, Crimson Hellkite, and Taveri's Isle. Offset front and back. That's fun. And this one feels like it's something different also. Oh, yeah, I know what this is. It's kind of fun, because some of this stuff, you know, I ordered so long ago, I'm a little hazy on. This was actually one of the first things in my consolidation, which is a Japanese exclusive Magic 2014 mouse pad. Mouse pads are, you know, one of many Magic things that I collect. That's one of the Chandras. I want to say Chandra Ablaze. I'm probably wrong, though. Whichever one was the M14. Anyways, yeah, that one was an exclusive one, so that's fun. Some other kind of single card. This feels like very wasteful packaging, having all these huge envelopes for like 1 or 2 cards. Okay. Oh yeah. So this, I mean, is just objectively one of the best. We're sliding here. There we go. One of the best Planes artworks to ever be printed, and in Japanese foil. But you know, like, that's not normally my gig, except that this one, for just a few print runs, the foil cut lines have this little box on the side, and I collect these. I have an hypothesis of how these come to be, and I think that they all come from the same part of the sheets. So I've been buying them up and comparing them to sheet layouts to test that hypothesis, but I also just collect them in general. So I had to get that one. They only show up, as far as I know, in a few foreign printings. I think in English they're only in Odyssey, they're in Japanese Odyssey, but I think they're in like Chinese Apocalypse. Don't quote me on that. It's something like that, though. This is a Duel Masters card. I think there should actually be a play set in here. But this is Mitzi, the Shivan Dragon. It's actually a sculpture that hangs in the Wizards of the Coast lobby of the Shivan Dragon that they made, oh gosh, back in the 90s or early 2000s, and her name is Mitzi. I actually saw Mitzi once when I went to the Wizards of the Coast headquarters, got a picture of it, but they put it on these Duel Masters cards, even though by all rights that's a magic creature because it's literally a Shivan Dragon. But I had to pick up one of those for my non-magic collection. There's been a few crossovers now with things like that, especially with Duel Masters, because it's another Wizards of the Coast property that's more popular in Japan. They did like a Black Lotus card and some other things. Imrakul. There's even there's one magic card, promotional magic card, that has a watermark of an anime character from the Duel Masters thing. Anyways, so here are some Mana Source life counter cards. So they have, you know, all these numbers on the back, and you can take like loose change, like a penny or whatever, and just put them over the numbers to keep track of your life score. And they did a whole run of these. They're actually listed on Librarities. They're ridiculously hard to find, though. But it's because they were actually made by the distributor with permission from Wizards of the Coast, you know, because at certain times distributors have been allowed to use Wizards IP for various advertising and little accessory materials like this. So these are semi-official life counters, and they actually represent magic cards. If I'm remembering correctly, that one is the Dakmor Sorceress, the one from Portal Second Age. She's got the Jester's Cap and is holding a Hammer of Bogarden, and I think that's supposed to be Rain, the Academy Chancellor. I'm probably butchering those, but it's something like that. All right. Another stack of stuff. I probably only have about 100 to go. All right. Okay, so these are mooks. Mook is a Japanese cross between a magazine and a book. So they're magazine format, but they're thick and they're exceptionally high quality. Astral set. So this is something that I don't, I'm not trying to collect all of them, but I'm trying to get a representative sampling. And there are specific key issues like this one. You'll notice, first off, it's issue number 1 is one reason that I had to have it. But it also shows the artwork from the introductory 2-player Japanese version, which is unique to this product. So that, I think that's pretty cool. Oh, this one's weird. Okay, how does it? It's like sticky. Is it just a bag? Can I just cut this open? Am I going to destroy it if I just cut it open? Can't tell. All right. Well, I'm just going to cut it here because that feels kind of safe, and then hope for the best. Yeah. No tape balls yet. I don't usually get tape balls from Japan, but it has happened. Hopefully we won't run into anything like that. Is that everything in there? God, it still feels heavy, but I think it's just like the material. I have to double check though. Like one time I almost threw away an empty but unlimited booster because it was like under the flap of a box, and like the box was already out in recycling, but I woke up at like 2 in the morning like unlimited booster wasn't in the box. I'm angry, and then I thought, well, maybe I just missed it in the box, and dug it out of recycling, and sure enough, like it was out there. True story. Still a ridiculous amount of packaging for one card. So this is one of the... Oh, we're tilted. This is one of the Japan exclusive calendar cards. For Nemesis, they did about half a dozen of these. And it's just like a little pocket calendar you can keep in your wallet or whatever, but it's, Magic the Gathering branded and licensed. I think, like, I already have that one, but they're so rare, I want to pick it up anyways and either have the opportunity to put it into the hands of another collector, or maybe I can trade it for one that I don't already have. Here's a DCI Japan 7th anniversary shirt, which I found kind of interesting. I actually reached out to a buddy of mine who lives in Japan and was like, hey, is there something special about 7th anniversaries? Because this is, they didn't do anything for the 6th anniversary. Usually, you do it in like by 5s or 10s or whatever for the special ones. I know that the number 7 is considered lucky, like bordering on holy in some ways in Japanese culture, but I don't know enough about that or what the significance is. And he basically got back to me and said, well, yeah, it's kind of lucky, but it's still like not real usual to celebrate the 7th anniversaries of things. It's just kind of a lucky number. So, they probably used that as an excuse to make the shirt, was his explanation. I still think it's interesting. Ooh. Man, a lot of this stuff is actually, like, down to the card level is really well packed. Not like you would find on MKM or things like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing these on video because sometimes people literally don't believe when I tell them the stories of how I've received mail in the past. Okay, so I remember that, like, the middle card, so I'm wondering if the rest of this is literally just all packaging. Yeah, it's just a bunch of commons. One of them's a foil, though. That's a pretty nice little throw-in. I like that. But this is a this is one of those cards that has where the it's the etched foil, but the etched foil is offset. So if you look at the top of the card, like first off, the card is really off-center, and you can see like a shadow above the cold foil where the cold foil should be. That's a little bit darker. because after it was off-centered, like not everything lined up right. There's a pretty good shot. Uh-oh. I think the movie ended, and now my baby girl is fussing, so I'm going to go feed her and start a new movie and come back. All right, next package. Oh, okay. So this, I think, was actually a bit of a miscommunication. I found a really great deal on a playset of Drudge Swamps. But then I later figured out that the guy wasn't saying that it was a sale for 4 of them. He was saying that it was a sale for 1, and he had 4 of them available. So I actually got a suboptimal deal on this thing. But those are becoming more desirable, so I'll take it. Alright, so this one, okay, I can see the card in there. Oh, it's just open on the end, okay. What are you? Okay. That is a Pradesh Gypsies that has a bunch of albino splotches, like all through the text box and the frame. Some of them are kind of hard to see, like there's one down here in the frame, and there's even one on her face. I just thought it was a neat effect. Yeah, I like that one. It's an unusual pattern. What are you? So this is triple packaged. That's a delight. Oh yeah, so this is a PWCS promo. Liliana Dreadhorde General. That is the Planeswalker Championship Series, which was a series of events that were Japan exclusive, where they would have these tournaments, and you know, there's all these regulations, like at least 50 people have to show up, and then, you know, if they can get it together, then everyone who participates like gets 1 card, and then the top 8 like get a second promotional card, and then the number 1 person, you know, only 1 person per event gets one of these. And they started doing it in like autumn of 2019. You know, so they got a few seasons in, and then COVID happened and they locked down. And I was talking to my friends in Japan, and they were like, yeah, like, you know, because of the lockdowns, you know, this season there were only like 3 of these tournaments in the entire country, and then we couldn't have them anymore because of the COVID regulations. And so like the next like 3 or 4 seasons after that, they kept doing them. You know, and people found ways of holding the tournaments, you know, in different ways, and they relaxed the restrictions, you know, on how many people had to participate to have it, and things like that. But there's a couple of these that are really scarce. And I don't know if this is the most scarce one or not, but I think it's the most desirable one. And even so, you know, there was 1 per tournament. So I really like this whole program. I think it's a gorgeous, like, trophy card. So yeah, Planeswalker Championship Series was definitely something that I was hunting over the last year. Oh yeah. All right, so all of this is going to be more freebie filler cards. you know, commons and tokens are cheap padding. There we go. And this is another one of those off-centered cards with the foiling that's offset. Yeah. And this one, yeah, you can see that the hollow foil on the bottom is like shifted up too far because it's like where it should be, while all the print is down, but then the foil mask on the border is still where it's supposed to be. So everything's just a little bit shifted on those. It's a pretty neat visual effect too. You know, I do think that the cold foil cards look good, and so that's just being like compoundly sexified with this kind of misprint on them. Yeah, so this accessories were popular in Japan before they were popular in the US, and their popularity in Japan of like third-party stuff actually directly led to a lot of that stuff being developed by Wizards and marketed in other markets. So I think that this is a third-party life counter. Yeah, so it's a little circle spinner style, much more cheap and flimsy than like the official ones, but it's still like not terrible, and that is Squallmonger. Oh, nice. So I guess this one, what does that go to, 40? Oh, it's double-sided, so you know it probably goes to 20 on one side, then you flip it over and it goes to 40. That's fun. So I don't think that it's official. I think it's unofficial. It was very, very cheap, and it's, you know, still a part of history. Oh, that's going to high center my stack of cards here. There we go. Okay, this packaging is a little bit funky. Is this like a sandwich bag or something? It's very cheap, like a extremely thin plastic bag here. That's just wrapped, not to an incredible degree, but quite a bit of it wrapped around the cards. And these are Koro Koro promos. It's probably just a playset of this card that came out in an issue of Koro Koro magazine. I guess it's 3 copies. It's not even a playset. Yeah, Koro Koro is a Japan exclusive, well, a Japanese magazine making these Japan exclusive promos. I think that's some kind of Thalid or Saproling, which is probably why I got 3 instead of 1 of them. In fact, there might even be more of those in here somewhere. I like green. I like green cards. Oh, that's floppy. That does not have a good feel to it. Oh God, what even is this in here? Uh-oh. Okay, here's a little circle spinner. This is one of the Japanese exclusive Ravnica circle spinners. And then these, I know what these are. These are, well, let me get one out. Oh, they're in the original packaging. I hope I didn't just screw that up. I nicked it. That's okay. These are the Metal Odyssey keychains. I've never actually figured out like where these came from. They're official, they're promotional, No idea how they were actually distributed or given out to people. If it was an event thing, like a pre-release, if they just handed them out to retailers, if they were like a distributor promotion, no idea. I'm gonna go take care of these fustitudes though. And we're back. You probably wouldn't know it, but we are now 17 hours into the opening process because of all the distractions. Ooh. This one looks like the lid to a jam jar. Ooh, Buddy Fight, okay. I'm pretty confident I didn't order Buddy Fight cards. I could be wrong. I'm hoping that those, yep. Those are just packaging for this Strixhaven error. So the bottom of this card, if you look at the copyright line, like half of it is foil and the other half of it is non-foil, where it says the word, what is that, buy a box? Yeah. So that's some kind of error in the white underprinting layer. And I'm going to have to look at it a little more closely to see what exactly is causing that. It's probably just some extra white ink got on there. I mean, it could be an offset. It doesn't look like it though, because then you would see like a weird like out of focus effect across the rest of the card, which I don't see. So it's probably just a little ink spot on that white underprint layer. Okay. Oh, hi. Yeah, I see you. I'm assuming that these are packaging. Foil token, that's neat. So here is a, what was that, Commander 21 card that has the waffle type crimp on the bottom, I think. You know, that might just be a doubled regular crimp. I can't really tell. Anyways, I kind of like the crimping pattern on this one. This is why I picked it up. It's not a severe crimp, but I don't think it was expensive either. Oh my, this one has like a little invoice in it. In Japanese. Apparently, it's like a, yeah, it's just like a little invoice. Apparently I paid 2,574 yen, which is basically like 25 bucks. So we'll see what this is and if I got a good deal or a bad deal. Yeah, I think this, like all these with the double black sleeves are probably all from the same misprint collector. Huh. Another foil card. Oh, okay. So this is yet another one of those etched foils that is offset. Looks like it's about as offset as the last one. They're probably all from the same sheet. I'll take a look at that later on. Huh. You look familiar. So here we have some random, oh, all foil. Okay, I mean, they're junk cards, but they're free. I'll take that. Throw them in a box. Maybe someone will want one. But it's another one of those mana source cards. These things, I think they're really cool and they're kind of rare. So when I had the opportunity of picking up another one for fairly cheap, I jumped at it. Oh, this one's going to be a bear, I can tell. At least I can feel that whatever is in here doesn't go all the way to the edge, so I can just kind of rip it open on this one side. Oh yeah, I know what this is. These are the file folders. So Magic did a crossover with some mobile game, and it Puzzles and Dragons. And so, as a promotional item for that, they created, these are called clear files, but it's a Japanese style of file folder which have nickel bolas on them, and it's this licensed promotion thing for a mobile game. I think I played that one for a minute. You know, in my opinion, the last great Magic game was, well, what we call Micro Prose or Chandelar, although the name of the game was just Magic the Gathering. And then the expansions were called Duels of the Planeswalkers, and what was it? There were 3 expansions. I don't recall right now. But anyways, yeah, I think that was the last really great, only really great Magic video game. Arena players would disagree, but I think they'll be proven wrong in the end. So there's a land tax, altered at 4th. Yep. Why have it shipped all the way from Japan? Because sometimes it's cheaper to do it that way. That is a white-bordered Parallax Dementia. Parallax Dementia, which is how you know that this is actually the Gata comic promo, magazine promo. Yep. And I think this is one of the rarer magazine promos, although it's on a not as desirable card. Like one of the other ones was like Shivan Dragon. But it's a little bit rarer, and I think it's cool. The coloration on this, I mean, I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but it's like so saturated. It doesn't look like a normal 7th edition card. I think it's beautiful. Oh, so this is a pin, I think, a button, magnet, patch. Some kind of thing. I can't quite tell. I'm going to go with patch for the Mythic Invitational. And I'm not sure, but I think what I was understanding from the guy is that those were only sent to people who got, like, invited to the Mythic Invitational. I mean, for all I know, you could just buy them on the Pro Shop or whatever, but I think that was the story. Oh, yeah, someone did a little bit of creative paper folding here. for this Japanese 5th edition Stream of Life, but it's not actually 5th edition. You can tell, well, there's some subtle differences about this. This is actually a magazine promo. The text has different spacing, but the big tell is that the drop shadow is messed up down here, and so the copyright line is actually like in chromatic black instead of white, which is the big tell for these. It's actually a pretty rare promo that basically no one knows or cares about, but I collect them. Ooh. Oh, I think this is one of the ones I'm excited for. So here are some basic lands. So this is, I mean, you can see it's foil Urza's Saga, which means that this is the arena promo. Are these? This is really thick. Are there 2 cards in here? No, it's just a really thick inner sleeve. Okay. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Oh, these are like old, used sleeves. Oh, they don't slide right. Oh, that feels so bad. Oh, these are, yeah, that feels so bad. These are, it feels like the old, like, pre-Ultra Pro, like, vinyl. Yeah, sleeves shouldn't make that sound. These are like the old vinyl ones that'll actually screw up your cards if you leave them in there too long. So these are all, yeah, these are all coming out as I'm doing them. So that's actually a pretty nice condition. Arena land. Oh, geez. Okay, that one's a little bit easier, but it's these inner sleeves that are just awful. Like, I'm going to damage the cards even trying to get them out. Like, they're sticky. Got the famous walled. You know, it's a plains, but it's really a forest. So this is a montagne. So this would be, I believe, that's French foil Mercadian masks. Mercadian mask foil basic lands did have a promo version that you could tell by certain indicators on the shooting star, but I'm pretty confident that those were only in English. So that's probably not a promotional card. It's just another neat rare land that they threw in. Oh geez, I hate this so bad. Oh, I hate this. You know, I'm actually gonna, like, it might be easier to just like cut these out. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing from now on. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here we got Simplified Chinese 5th, which was an incredibly short printed set. So they have the 5th edition symbol, which is only in Simplified Chinese, and some of the cards in Simplified Chinese have the fat tap symbol. You notice that the little like recycling arrow in there is like, it's bolded. It's like the font is bolded. It's like twice as thick as it should normally be on a card. And that was something that happened on some Chinese 5th edition cards. I think it's all the basic lands have it, though. I made a chart years ago that showed like which card was what version. So here, is this the same art? Yeah, okay. So this is the same card, just another copy of the same. Such a short printed set. You can tell I'm saving one for last, because I know what that is, and it's the one to be excited about. Come on. There we go. Yeah, that terrible plastic. And this is the same thing, just a different artwork. Also has the fat tap symbol and the 5th edition set symbol. This, however, is the piece de resistance. Forgive my French. Okay, so this one they actually like put the middle sleeve in like the wrong way, so the card will just slide out. That's convenient. I've never seen one of these before. So this is one of the APAC lands, but badly crimped. Like, in fact, it's like missing a chunk of the top of the card. I mean, these are not a particularly common promo to begin with. Like, they've been jumping up lately because they're like an obscure kind of thing. And this is just an amazing crimp on that card. Been very excited about that one. Yeah, the Eurolands say at the bottom of the card, like what they're a depiction of, like what part of the world they're depicting. Like, there's Nottingham Forest and things like that. The White Cliffs of Dover. The APAC lands don't have that though. I just had to look to remind myself. Oh, money, 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 money. This is just a sealed pack of these little coins. I already have one of these, and even like a bunch of the little coins like loose besides. But then I saw that these have become like really desirable, especially like sealed in the little packets. So I remember picking up at least one of those in case one of my friends would want one. Use it as trading fodder or something, just try and make them a little more accessible. This is some creative packaging. I guess I'm supposed to peel it from here. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Okay, no, I'm going to cut it. There we go. Oh, it's taped down. Going to do some surgery. Oh, that was it? Okay. What are you? We've got a couple of... Oh, okay, so these are Japanese Kaldheim that are just fillers. That's nice. And here's, I think it's called a Latchkey Fairy, but it has this really weird error I have never seen before in my life. Like up here, you can see like the outline of like a droplet. It looks like a drop of water is on the card. And so I was thinking, oh, like it's printing debris, like something got on the card and then got printed over. But that is smooth. That is a straight ink error, which actually means it's probably a fountain solution error. But it's such a cool effect. I've never seen that before in my life. Definitely one I'm going to have to take a closer look at with the boys. Are these loose? Yeah, okay. This is my first just like loose cards in an envelope. Oh, only some of them are loose though. Okay. Got a couple of Zendikar Take Two tokens in there. Yep. And then these are my Team Mint little cards. I guess. Well, they're not really. I guess they could be tokens, but they're more like promotional, like promoting like the team. There's a Yuya Watanabe. Who is that? I don't see where it says. And then there's like a foil one with all the boys. There it is. Yuya Watanabe, Yuki Ichikawa, Kentaro Yamamoto, Teruya Kakumai. I apologize for the pronunciation. It's been a few years since I took Japanese. But that's another one of those things, like, no one's looking for those. They're third party. They're oddly specific. I think that it's kind of a neat artifact, though. You know, you have like the really interesting art style of all these guys, you know, in these like traditional, style, like cultural things are happening here. And his expression, Yuya's expression, just cracks me up. He looks like a real character. Oh, wow, you know that's a good sign. Like, I can't even see this yet, and yeah, the back's miscut, so this is probably going to be a miscut card. And indeed, this is a 5th edition Japanese, what was that, Boomerang? I don't think that's, what? Okay, so I'm not freaking out over the card, I'm freaking out over, it's like a hard side loader. I don't think I've seen that before. Like it's like, you know, a hard top loader but side loader. Anyways, Japanese 5th edition, but we have sheet edge at the bottom with a splice line. So the blue is actually bleeding over like into the sheet edge, which I'm sure is why was my interest in this card. That is really cool. I'm going to save this. Oof, my pile of packaging and wrapperaging is starting to pile up. I also, like, it always tickles me when they do, like, the magic, you know, like, empty wrappers as packaging. These are kind of heavy duty. I don't actually know what this is from. Some kind of backing board for Strixhaven. Oh, and look at that. Oath of the Gatewatch. Like, it's all taped up, though. I want to know what, like, this bag is. That's, oh, I tore it. Oh, no. It's so flimsy and fragile. Oh, geez. Yep, something I've never seen before, and I literally can't open it without destroying it. Come on. You can do the thing. Okay. So I'm assuming that, because, okay, so there's a date on there. So I'm assuming that this was some kind of, like, pre-release pack. That something came into the stores. Maybe this is how they ship the pre-release cards in their store packets, I'm guessing. Got some more random Duel Masters cards. I kind of like that guy. Those are weird. And okay, I don't know what these cards are, though. It's got a G on it. Oh, okay, seeing the front didn't help. It says Bandai. I'm gonna get, is that some kind of like Gundam thing? I don't know. No idea. Oh, hey, but look at this. Okay, so it's another Planeswalker Championship Series. This one is the Elspeth first place, and this one actually came in as a set. There's the top 8, and then the, oh, what's it called? The participation card. So this is all 3 of the cards from this particular series. And let me just... Yep. Oop, nope. Yep. Okay. Okay, I got this. I got this. Oh, I do not. I do not got this. Okay, I got it well enough. Alright, made room. Rubber band. That's Oh, okay, because it's not taped. I guess they wanted to rubber band it instead. That's a new one. Oh wow, that token though. Yeah, so this it is. Big Magic is a shop in Japan. It's one of the big ones, you know, kind of like SCG here in the US or whatever. They do their own tokens. Huh. I don't know if... Yeah, these are something different. So it looks like the first half is the Big Magic. And what are these even from? Big Web? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like an older thing from the same people. I honestly don't know. I don't think I've seen those before. I'm going to have to look into it. Oh, this one's thick. Oh, we got a thick boy here. What is this? Huh. Okay. Oh, these are the 20th anniversary dice kits. So they are D&D dice. D6, 3D6, a D10, and a D20. They don't have a D8? Okay, 3D6, a D10, and a D20. And they come with like this little baggie. So these are all like original. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because, I mean, if you're combining shipping, you might as well combine shipping. So I guess I picked up a bunch of these again, you know, in case anyone's interested in them. Oh, what else do we have? Oh yeah, like 80 more packages. I can't even see the bottom of the box yet. Alright, come on. What are you? Ooh. Is there anything else in here? I know what you are. You are a blue pack. So this is a sealed APAC pack. They did a re-release on these because they had leftover stock. So this is one of the 2010 ones. And I sought this out because it has this sticker identifying it. You know, because they're the original cards from, what are they, 1998 or whatever. But yeah, this got, like, put back out there in 2010. And I thought that was really interesting. I did a little write-up on that the other day. Like, because, you know, a lot of these promos, you know, they come around and then people think, you know, it's a promo for that thing, and they don't realize that a ton of this stuff has historically been released. You know, they have leftover stuff, so then it becomes prize support, or then they like do them out like in store mailings, or they used to send them out to people like in their player appreciation packets, or they would like a lot of promos actually get re-released in all kinds of weird ways. Or at least historically they did. They used to do that with like Judge promos. So I think this is P3K Sima Yi. I don't remember for sure. Anyways, this has a nice... Oh, my hand is blocking the whole thing. This has a nice little printer hickey up here versus a normal one. Like, it's not extreme, but... P3K errors, any kind of printing error or misprint is crazy rare. Like there's some sets that you just don't find misprints in, and with P3K, like that's one of them. You'll never see like a miscut P3K card. Oh, so this is just another one of these. Put that with the other one. something I learned years ago when buying obscure stuff. Like, when you have, you know, access to, you know, a good source or whatever, like, don't just pick up one, because then you're going to run into people who are like, oh man, I love that thing, I'll give you so much money for it. You know, but you can't get another one. Like, it's already too late. So, like, I like to pick up extra ones and use them to trade with people or whatever, just like down the road. Yeah, so here we've got a couple Crusades, and yeah, those are all filler cards. 2 4th edition Crusades, but one of them is alternate 4th. I actually was just doing a blanket search for alternate 4th on the Japanese market, because it looked like it was bumping up here, and I didn't think that it had bumped up in Japan yet. But I was actually blocked from buying a lot of alternate 4th cards, and I don't understand why. But I talked to my consolidator, and they just said, "Oh yeah, like it's a prohibited seller. Like, you can't buy any of those." But it was like 3 different sellers. These are pins. They're officially licensed. Set of all 5. I have no idea how those were given out. I've only seen them in Japan, so I assume that they're Japan exclusive. I mean, but because I don't know where they come from, like, it's really hard to say. You know, sample bias and all that. Ooh, okay, so this got a little bit warped in shipping. Like, this is before cards were Pringles out of the packs. Yeah, I think I might even got in a slight crease during shipping. That's unfortunate. So this is some kind of angel out of Apocalypse. It has a foil cut line on the top. It's like a really thick cut line, though. I don't know if that's going to show up on video, but like the foil cut line looks thicker than most foil cut lines, and I've also noticed that some of them are thinner. So I was hoping by getting like this really thick one, I could look at it under magnification and see if I can kind of figure out what's going on there, like why some of the foil cut lines look different than other ones. This is not the first time I've gotten cards in jewel cases. I don't know why. I guess, you know, maybe sneak them as media mail. That's a filler. That's a filler. Ooh, oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. So here we have the Mega Crimp. So this is a triple crimped card, where you've got, like, from the end of the pack, you know, the double crimp with some marks from the cutting die in the middle, with a spine crimp running down it also. That is something I haven't seen before. Yeah, let me find one of these like better sleeves that I've put over here. There we go. Don't want to just let that sit out raw. Okay, so this one actually has the same invoice as one a while back. So it's probably a similar thing from the same seller, although I have no memory of what the first one was. But I kind of like having it as a little adventure / mystery. Pull out the filler cards. Oh, okay, so this, because I recognize the double black, so this would have been like the same guy I got all the cyan stuff from. Bunch of Eldraine Mountain fillers. And this is... Oh, yeah, okay, so this is a Chinese Apocalypse card, but it has the foil cut line with that little square. Has... Let me see if I can catch it in the light. That little square on the edge. Yeah, right in there. And I have a Chinese foil rare. Yeah, I think I mentioned, yeah, Chinese Apocalypse have those once in a while. Hard as the dickens to find, though. Oof. I hate it when they pack the cards so tight that, like, I feel like I'm going to hurt them getting them out. You know, you could have just put, like, a piece of tape over the top. God, I could write a dissertation on all the right and wrong ways to pack cards. Not on how to open them, though, because obviously I'm awful at that. Alright, so what is this? Oh, nice. Okay. So they sent a bunch of Tempest, Stronghold, Visions, actually some pretty cool filler cards. And check out that error. So that is an etched foil card, but most of the ink is missing at the bottom of the card. You still got the hollow foil. You still got like a ghost of the image and all of the foiling, but the ink is missing. I'm going to have a good time getting this one under the loop. Tell you that. Uh-oh. Disaster averted. Okay, ooh. So that's another thick one. Must be some kind of sealed product again. I don't remember getting a lot of sealed product this time. Oh, they have a little note, and this one is in English, so they must have known that it was coming, you know, to someone who's English speaking. And it says "we" and then crossed out and says "I sincerely thank you for using our store today. We look forward to serving you again soon." On this cute little note. That's the kind of like little personable touch that I've come to personally associate with the Japanese, like that hospitality, like their form of hospitality. Huh, okay, it's another one. And is this one? Nope. This one is still sealed on the side. So here is a Japanese introductory 2-player that has never been opened, to my knowledge. I guess like it could have been retaped, but I mean that thing looks good. And I think that's factory tape. I don't know for sure. I think I have 4 sets of that stuff now, and they all have that tape there. And so I think that's just how they came. Even though it's weird for them to seal things with tape. Oh, that's a big lump of cards. Oh, she's excited. Okay, that's excited, not mad. That's good. Big lump of cards, okay. What do we got here? Ooh, some... Oh my. Okay, some beat up Ixalan cards is packing, hopefully. Okay, are all of these? Man, these are thick. This is like 2 booster packs worth of just like freebie packing cards, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I didn't order none of that, so that must be what it is. So I guess here's the goods is, what is this, a Chinese Croson Cloud Scraper foil. I don't see anything special about it. Or on the back, maybe it's an error, but I'm not seeing it, not even a foil cut line. Okay, we'll have to look at that one closer later. Ooh, here we go. So now here is a crimped Brainstorm Japanese full art. What is that, double masters? That's pretty cool. This one will probably get traded. I think there's a lot of people who would appreciate that more than me, although I do rather like it. Here's another one. I've never seen this before. So this appears to be a licensed Magic the Gathering Microprose bag, like a dice bag, but promotional for like the Microprose stuff. And I have no idea how this was released. I've never seen one of these before. So yeah, there's just like Magic accessories is a bottomless pit, truly. Alright, let me see if I can get the rest of the packages out of the box, and then I'll start using the box for all of my trash. Nope, it's still more than half full. Okay. Jeez. Oh my gosh. We're not even halfway through this. Okay. I guess it usually goes faster because I don't talk about this stuff. I just open it and then I'm like, oh yeah. And then I open the next one. Oh yeah. And this whole thing would have, taken me a lot less time. But I think that this will be a bit more fun for all involved. Oh, okay, so that is just the Japanese redemption program Nalathni Dragon. The only Japanese Nalathni Dragon. Yep. I decided to pick up some of those because people started speccing Nalathni Dragon, which is funny because back in the day people were so mad that they printed so many of them. But then they also received a lot of complaints that they overprinted antiquities. Time is a funny thing. Oh, okay, so this, yeah, I remember this. This is a sealed product that I picked up. Modern Masters, and this is the transparentest pack I have ever seen. Like, there is no foil in this whatsoever. You can just see the cards. Like, the reflection isn't going to make it come out as well, but this is like clearly readable. Friday Night Magic, like there is no foiling in this. And there's a rumor going around that's like damage that's caused by heat and humidity and these other things, but I've looked into it, and it's definitely caused by a production error. I don't think that it's also caused by those other things, but I've done some experiments. I've talked to some other people. I've never found a single person who claims to have duplicated that effect with any combination of heat, humidity, or age. So I'm pretty sure that that is a false rumor. Oh, well, that's the same packaging as the other Nolothny Dragon, and it's another Japanese Nolothny Dragon. Redemption program card. Right there with the other one. Oh, that's hefty. Okay. This feels like another Mook, because it's a magazine book, I guess. Oh, nope, it's just a whole bunch of, well, I don't know if these still qualify as Mooks. But, oh, hey. Oh, yeah. I've been looking forward to this. Okay, so here is a lot of stuff. We got some flyers. Here's one for Japanese Pro Tour qualifier. We've got one, like a folder for the Tournament of Champions. A bunch of issues of Deck Express, which is an official but Japanese exclusive publication that was put out. And oh, and here's some Impress, which is another Japanese exclusive publication that was official. And these are the set guides. So these are the same as that one that I got earlier that showed the introductory 2-player. And here's one for 5th edition and Weatherlight. This one, the Angel, Wayward Angel, Avenging Angel. No, I might be wrong. Anyways, what I like about this one is that it shows the original artwork. Like on the English card, they recolored the bottom of her clothes right there. See, like in the original artwork, it's white. And they recolored it to blue to match the rest of her clothes because it looks too much like a panty shot. But when they show this artwork in any publication in Japan or Germany or other places, they would still show the original art, which I think is interesting. Okay, I'm going to do one of the big ones now, just to mix things up a little and see what's in this one. This one actually has Pikachu printed on it, so I wonder if this like box originally came from like the Pokemon company or something. I don't know what this is originally from. Oh yeah, this is from Pokemon Nintendo Creatures Incorporated Game Freak. Okay, this is an official Pokemon box. Oh yeah, and inside of it are these Japan exclusive shirts that they did a year or two back, which are all of the original Dual Lands. It's just the text box for each Dual Land, so there were 10 different ones. And I forget what they retailed for, but it was like $80 or something. So there's like Tropical Island, Underground Sea, Volcanic Island, and you can see official Wizards licensed product. But they were, yeah, Japan exclusive. So there's 3 of them, I think, out of the 10 that are possible. But now I'm going to use that official Pikachu Pokemon's Game Freak box to put all this trash in that's piling up so it doesn't spill on the floor and make a bigger mess than I already have. There we go. All right. Hey, I can finally see the bottom of the box. New pile of packages. So I can see 1/4 of the bottom of the box. I did say this is like twice the size of my normal consolidations when I order Magic stuff from overseas. So, okay. Looks like a bunch of M12 filler cards. Oh. Oh, man. And then that slaps you in the face. 7th edition Blue Bino. That is not a Sunfade, people. This is not a false alarm. This is a proper Blue Bino. I like that. I'm not even sure what card that is. Lightning Blast? Something like that. 7th edition, common, 3 red, 3 colorless, 1 red. It might be Lightning Blast. I don't know well enough. All these newfangled cards. I do apologize for all the child noises in the background again. Alright, a bunch more filler cards. This is how I get like 3/4 of my foreign cards, is they're all just filler cards and orders from other countries. And here we have a nice toad. Wish it was a chub toad, but it's not. But this has a gorgeous thick waffle crimp on it. Yep. And this one is... Oh, okay. So this is a circle spinner, also from the Mana Source. So it's like by the same company that did those other card life counters. But this is a circle spinner, and they came up with all these crazy characters for them. And you spin this, and for each life total, he has like some other funny thing that he says. Like it changes the quote on the card. Kind of a weird character there. I guess he's in some kind of like onesie and has a bottle of sake. I think something cultural must be happening. I'm gonna go check on my kids again though. I think it's been about an hour. Got to make sure they're okay. Oh, may have come back too soon. I think we can probably get through a couple more. All right, what's in this one? Okay, so there was Hobby Japan came out with this whole series called Gather Girls. And it's like third party, and they were doing licensed Wizard stuff at the time, but for whatever reason this didn't get blessed. But they came out with like a bunch of products that feature like these attractive young ladies, and they did life counters, and they did PVC models and all kinds of stuff. Well, this is from a pocket calendar. That I'd never seen this before, so I picked it up. Okay, I am going to have to go after this one. She is expressing her displeasure. I thought she was okay, but... babies. They're so finicky. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think we're going to have a whole run of these. So here's another attractive young lady, but this actually is licensed. Wonder Goo, also Kadokawa, but also Wizards of the Coast, a subsidiary of Hasbro. This is from the Destroy All Humanity, They Cannot Be Regenerated manga, which is an official licensed manga. And whenever a new issue comes out, they have these postcards as like a sales promotion. So these get sent to the stores with the new issue. All right, unboxing day 4. Ooh, should have really cleared out all of this stuff. I'll recognize you. That's the top of a magic case. And yep, this is another one of those promotional cards for Destroy All Humans. Spoiler, I think there's probably going to be like 6 or 8 of those, because, well, that's how many comics there are, and I was trying to get like one of each. I think some of them have some alternate versions and stuff, though. It's complicated. Oh, this is another side loader, but like a big side loader. And that is another Planeswalker Championship Series Liliana. Either number 2 or 3, I think. Oh. Okay. Uh-oh. Alright, this is another Destroy All Humans card. And it looks like some of them are postcards, some of them are just like regular cards. This one almost looks like a sticker, but I'd better tend to that. Alright, day 67 of trying to get through this box. I've cleared everything out of the box, and now the kids are asleep, so hopefully this will go a bit smoother. I think I'm a little over halfway through. Oh, this one is something special. Lubu Master at Arms, but you might notice that there is no P3K set symbol, which is normal for the pre-release version, but there's also no stamp. This is a very rare oddity. We actually don't know what this is, or how these were distributed. Some of the pre-release cards that are stampless actually arrived to the distributor that way, so this might be something like that. It could be a rare error. We're really not sure, but you can count the number of these that are known to exist on one hand. Is probably the rarest thing that I got in this consolidation. Could be a filler, which kind of doesn't make sense, but we know that promo fillers exist, even though there's not really a good reason for them to. a nice foil treasure token. I mean, that's Modern Horizons 2. That set has been out for, what, like a week, 2 weeks? So this must be one of my very last things that I got in the consolidation. Couple of nice foil tokens as free fillers. I'm just giving these a once over to check for any printing oddities. We did have some of those in Modern Horizons too. Speaking of which, yeah, so on this guy, this is one of the mystical archives, but there's a stamp here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to focus on it. There's this round mystical archive stamp, and it's actually, let me see if I can get in the light, it's double stamped. Like I feel, I can see it with my eye, and I feel pretty confident that a scan would pick it up. I don't know how the camera's going to pick it up though, but there's clearly like 2 circles there that are offset a little bit. Let me see if I can catch it in the light, if that helps. It doesn't seem to. Anyways, double stamped Japanese Mystic Archive, and I believe that's one where the Japanese version has alternate art too. Which makes it a little more interesting. Definitely has an alternate layout. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. This is just a Chinese portal alternate art. There's a number of cards that got alternate artwork in Chinese. Some of the reasons are obvious. Some of them, like this Blaze, are a little bit less so. Yep, but they did an alternate artwork, even though I don't think that the original was particularly objectionable. They're awfully scarce, though. The Portal sets, well, Portal and Portal Second Age, had fairly small print runs for the foreign editions. Some of them are extremely small, like Portal Second Age Portuguese is, you know, almost non-existent. And I think that Chinese Portal, which they did in simplified and traditional Chinese, is also quite rare. Not unobtainable, just really hard to get, like even for commons like this. Here we've got another one of those Mana Source Circle Spinner life counters. So obviously this is the black one with another wacky character on it who says different quips. I wish I could read Japanese. But yeah, he has something different to say for each life total that you're at. I wonder if there's one for 0. Nope. Okay. Circle spinners usually don't have a spot for 0, but I was wondering, since they say funny things at each life total, if they might have one for 0. That would kind of make sense, but it doesn't. Oh, and so here's the same kind of bag as we had with the Gatewatch, but this looks like it's a pre-release for Shadows over Innistrad, with a couple more of these buddy fight cards in here. But those are just sandwiching another Planeswalker Championship Series. Yep. So Elspeth was another one of the seasons. Each season has a different Planeswalker for the grand prize, the number 1. I think that this is one of the rarer ones that happened during COVID, when they were limited on their number of tournaments, and only one of those was given out at each tournament. So I expect that in the end it's going to turn out to be quite rare. You never know, though. That might be the kind of thing where they anticipated there being more, so they printed a bunch that'll just leak out in other ways. Here's another Manosaur Circle Spinner. This looks like, red, black, and blue. I didn't even realize that they came as like a set. I don't think I have any more in here, though, so it looks like it's an incomplete set for me, which is a shame. If there's one I would want, it would be the green one. This is going to be another Destroy All Humanity release postcard. Yep. So, a promotional art card for the release of the Destroy All Humanity mangas by Kadokawa, which are licensed. I don't expect them to ever be released in English, though. Now, those books all also come with a promotional card, which is actually in an envelope that is bound in the manga. So if you can buy them new, they actually come with sealed promo cards with them. There's another one. I think I got 6 or 8 of those. Okay, so here's another one, but this one isn't like a postcard or an art card. This is an actual card. Animate book trading card, not for sale. That's because these were retailer promos. So I think that how it worked is that when the retailer would put in an order for those cards, then the distributor would send them, one of those promotional artwork items for every so many copies that they ordered. As like a little bonus for ordering more copies. Is I think how that works. At least that's how the distributor stuff works in the U.S. And there's another one. She's dressed up like Liliana, and he's Gideon there. Oh, and there's another one. There's definitely still a few of these that I'm missing, because there's at least one with each issue, and there's 8 issues, and I think that some of them have multiple versions. Another one. I know those aren't as interesting. Literally never seen them in the US market, though. Even the mangas are a little scarce. But of course, obviously these cheap little distributor promos, or retail promos, I should say. There's another one. This was fun. I like when they wrap things in newspapers. Newspapers worldwide in some ways are the same, and in some ways they're always a little different. Get a little peek into another part of the world. Okay, so this is actually a promotional poster for Destroy All Humanity, which the full image shows two of the girls in bed covered in magic cards. I think they're like, well, the comic I think takes place in the late 90s, so I think they're like Urza's block cards, if I recall correctly, and they're just like covered in them. How does this unfold? I don't want to tear it. There we go, yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of a better picture. And yeah, so Urza's Saga booster packs, and then just covered in magic cards. So, promotional poster for Destroy All Humanity. Ah, here's something new. I guess we're out of the manga block. Card Game Press Volume 2. This is a Magic magazine that I picked up for cheap, although, as you can see, they're actually free to take in the comic shops in Japan. But I think that's my first issue of that, so I need to check it out and see what kind of content those have and see if it's worth chasing down others. I doubt if it is. You know, it's probably just a little flyer advertising new sets, you know. Oh, well, that's an interesting little wrapper on that. How does that actually... Okay, it's like a puzzle box, but I have a way to defeat this. Just do a little surgery. There we go. And I'll cheat it off. Oof, that did not work as well as I had hoped. There it goes. There it goes. Okay, so this is a Zendikar card. And the weird thing about this one, which is only noticeable when it's at a certain angle, I'm seeing, so this might be hard to catch on camera, but the right side of this card has a different texture to it, like a different level of reflectiveness. It's the most clear up here in the type line, so I'll see if I can catch that just right. And you can see on the right hand side, yeah, there's like a hard line right there where it's like a little bit darker than it is on the left. So I suspect that might be some blanket ghosting, possibly of a card border. It could also be something going on with the underprint layer, because it's a foil card. And I mean, it's simultaneously subtle but also kind of striking. So I'm interested in figuring out what that's about. And it's not showing up on camera, but it goes all the way down the card, where there's just like this shadow on the right, maybe quarter inch of the card. That's kind of neat. Oh yeah, I'm excited about this one. So we have a Japanese Urza's Saga Swamp. Yeah, and this is quite curious. So at the top of the card, there you can see that there's some other print layer up here that's abnormal. and it's not, like, it looks like it's printed on, and when I look at the edge of the card, I don't see any bleed over, which means that, it goes all the way to the edge. So if it was like Sharpie or something, you'd expect it to bleed onto the edge of the card, but it's not. And I can't quite make it out, but there's some kind of pattern here. I'm wondering if it looks, if that's like a character or some other kind of mark I can identify it by. I can't make it out clearly enough, though. It's not raised, so I don't think that it's like tape under there. I think this might be a case where it's like a mark that's on the stock, like when we had those cards, those German cards with the green blocks on them. It could be something like that. I really don't know. This is a weird one. This is going to take some analysis to figure out what that actually is up at the top. Alright. Here's a bunch of small ones I'll get through. Well, that stands out. Bunch of nice little filler cards. Some older ones, too. I like that. So this is obviously a miscut that's showing sheet edge at the top. The reason that I sought it out is that this is one of the misprinted ones where the sheet edge, that's the bottom of the word property, but it's misspelled proporty. So they actually misspelled the text on the edge of the sheet. And there's a span of a couple years in there when this typo was on all of the sheets, and I've been hunting one of these for a while, and this is half of one. But I'll take it because it's still enough that you can make out that the misprint is there. So to me, that makes it a combination of factory misprint and standard misprint, which is something that I collect. Bunch of more free filler cards. I think my stack of free cards is, yeah, it's about the same as my stack of regular cards. Oh, this one is cool. So Mishra's Factory, 4th edition, but it has the alpha cut corners, which is an error, of course. But this one is a twofer, because if I turn it over, let me see if I can get the back in the light, you can see that it's a cold varnish error on the back. So when this was going through to the press coat during finishing, the varnish hadn't warmed up enough, and so it goes on, lumpy and uneven like this. So this is a unrelated double error, where it has a varnishing error on the back, and then it has a cutting error, and it's on a Mishra's Factory, no less. So I'm very pleased with that one. For a lot of these, you can tell how long ago I bought them by what cards they used as fillers. Oh yeah, so this is actually, I'm not sure if this is a standard or semi-standard misprint, but this is Jared from one of the Commander sets whenever they started doing the etched foils. But anyways, the type line has the cutout for the foil shifted from the cutout for the text, and so it has like this blurry doubled effect. And I scooped up a couple of these before I found out it looks like it might be all of the copies that have this, or if it isn't, it's at least a large number of them. So it might be a standard error, but it's at least a semi-standard error. I'm having trouble getting it to come up on camera. Ooh, Japanese foil for free. That's pretty cool. Huh, 2 of them from Theros. And this is a giant from Onslaught. Yeah. But it has a printing error here at the bottom where it's missing all of the colors except for the white underprinting layer. So I guess it's like a partial albino down here, just all along the bottom edge of the card. And I thought it gives a really cool effect with the bubbles in the frame, especially because it's an intact white ink layer. But like the black layer is missing. And you can really see the white overprinting layer with the Wizards of the Coast copyright line there. That's a really interesting effect. Ooh, that's a pretty big one. There we go. Oh, that's a bunch of cards. Okay, what's going on here? So it looks like these in the back. Okay, I think, yeah, all of these Ixalan cards are packing. I don't know. I don't remember this lot, but it looks like there's, oh yeah, okay, there's just a ton of free cards on both sides. And then we have a Zendikar Triome. With a deep crimp, actually missing a chunk of the card there at the top. Oh no, that's not a Triome, that's one of the dual lands, excuse me. There's a Triome coming up, which is what I was confusing it for. That'll be fun when we get to it. Ooh. Another brick of cards. This must be from the same guy. Oh yeah, he's just packing as much as he can in there. Well, that's a good start. that is quite twisted. Ah, there's the triome, speak of the devil. So we have a badly twisted triome, and over here it actually has sheet edge with a kiss of color bars right there. Got some cyan halftone color bars. Doesn't look like there's sheet edge on the back, so this border must extend a little bit farther on that side. But yeah, twisted triome with sheet edge. Yeah, I really enjoy how with the twisted cards you always have one opposite pair that are square and then the other ones that are overly rounded, because they don't fit squarely into the cornering die. Here's another one of those Koro promos. Oh, and a different Koro promo. So those are Japanese magazine promos from Koro Oniki. And these are Buddy Fight and Duel Masters. I'm assuming that those are both promos from the same magazine. I can't really tell, though. I know very little about either of those card games. Yeah, we're back to 2019 with these Japanese Eldraine. Oh, and that is a standard Chinese misprint, or I should say a Chinese standard misprint, because they use different fonts sometimes, like for the characters as opposed to the numerals. So they're using English lettering here for the numbers and then a Chinese font for the rest of it. And they didn't marry the fonts correctly, and so these symbols actually overlap here. The +2 +0 is overlapping the next character. And I think that's a standard misprint for this card, like all the foil versions are like that. There's actually some Japanese cards where the foil versions use a different secondary font than the non-foil versions, which causes them to be kerned differently, and then you have the characters showing up, with different wrapping, so they end up on different lines in the rules box. Here's a lovely set of Japanese 4th black bordered mountains, all heavily off-center to the right, but squared backs, so the backs are normal, off-centered fronts. And these are also fun because the artist attribute drop shadow is way off, like it's on like the wrong side of the letters here. Usually that happens when either they get the font size wrong, and you'll know that because it will be progressively worse as you get across the line as the kerning just gets more and more off, or it's because they didn't do the exact same text for the white layer as for the black layer, and then you get an offset. And it looks like it's the former case here, because the beginning of the line starts off and it's almost perfect, and by the time you get to the end, like the drop shadow for the R is under the E. So yeah, that means that they just had the font wrong, or kerned differently, or It might even be sized differently, like a 0.2 difference in the font point that just caused it to get progressively offset. And you would never notice it, except those two layers of text have to marry perfectly to look right. Oh, okay. So here's a couple of things. First off, here's another one of those Jareds with the offset cold foiling for the card title. And then these, now I was really interested to see what's going on with these, because what they were marketed as is like there being extra foil material here at the top, like the hollow foil which you get sometimes. But what's much more common with these that I suspect is it's actually missing ink. So you're seeing the foiling layer underneath instead of there being an additional foil on top. You know, let me take a look at these. Oh, I'm wrong. I can actually see on, like, in that foiling right there is a little bit of a the Planeswalker symbol, which means that that is additional foiling. So that is a much more severe error than I initially thought. Man, that's cool. I'm seeing if I can fish out one of these card sleeves to stick this in, because I don't want that foiling to get messed up. So it's probably the same way on both of these, because they, you know, came from the same seller. Ooh, and they're both mythics too. That's really cool. That's a very welcome, unexpected surprise. Oh man, and now that I'm looking at it, there's actually more foil material like all over this thing. Like when I turn the light, I can see there's some of it down here in the text box, like all over the top of the card. There's even like little bits of it like here, like in the middle of the card. Yeah, there, if I catch it in the light. That is cool. They really screwed up on the hollow foil that day. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay. So what's in the bag? We already know what this is. So this is going to be the little pre-release retailer packet for one of the Kamigawa sets. And like I said, they send these out to the retailers like before or right when a set is released, and they always have a copy of a common card, which are technically a separate printing, but they're identical to the release version. You know, and they just send these out with little facts and ordering information about the set, and then you can, you know, check out the card to see how cool it is. You know, and usually they get a stack of those and they just give them away, you know, to kids in the shop, and it's like a little promotion that they do. So that also came with some other cards here, which, just judging by the cards that they are, these might also be promotions that are like technically promotional cards but are identical to the release version, but I'm going to need to do a little bit of research. I could swear that the 6th edition Horned Turtle is one, but of course there's probably no way of knowing, so those will just go on the regular card pile. Ooh, this actually has came packed with Pokemon cards, moving up in the world. It almost looks like it's sealed, but it just opens from the bottom. Okay, so we got a couple of free Pokemon cards. Okay, nothing that I recognize. Pokemon Go isn't up to this generation yet. But the main feature is this is a second set of these Planeswalker Championship series. from 2020. So this is another one of the Elspeth sets with the first prize, top 8, and then participation award. Bunch of free Ultimate Masters uncommons and a fatigue. Nice. But the main piece is going to be this low cyan living hive, Japanese Mirrodin. There we go. So that is a green card, but it looks like a yellow card because it is almost cyanless. It is definitely very low in cyan. And this is one of the channels that can't be faded because the cyan pigment that is used just isn't UV sensitive. It doesn't fade. It's the same for black. So, you know, with a blue bino, you have to be really careful and examine it and make sure that it's not a sun fade, but you can't sun fade cyan, which means that that must be a factory error. More free Ultimate Masters. And I like this. So this is the famous foil Japanese 7th edition COP white that has a power and toughness. So in play as written, you know, you can swing with this, but it's also easier to kill. And another thing I like about this is this copy is actually has a foil cut line across it. I am very pleased by this. I don't even know if I remember if I knew that this copy had a foil cut line, but I like that. Yeah, this is just such a cool standard error, but you know, it's a standard error, but Japanese foil 7th edition isn't exactly common, you know. Like it darn well may as well be a factory misprint. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Okay, what are these? Little promotional. Oh, it's tickling my memory. There's something. What is in these? There's a whole bunch of them. Are any of them opened? These are a promotional accessory that contains something depicting planeswalkers. And I literally just cannot remember what they... I think they're card sleeves? They didn't look like they're big enough to be card sleeves, but they are. So I expect that's what these are. I'm going to see if I can find the worst one and just open it to see if I can confirm that. What's the worst one? I thought there's like something circular in there. Weird. Oh, and there's also like micro printing on the little seal back here. Okay, well this one has a little fold in it. I'm going to open this one very carefully, see if I can lift this sticker. Oh yeah, it leaves the text behind. It's one of those security things. Oh, it's a circle spinner. It's not sleeves. Okay, that's what it is. So I think I actually already have a set of these, but not sealed ones, although I guess this one is unsealed now. But yeah, these are... I knew they were some kind of accessory with planeswalkers, but when I mentioned, oh, there's something round on the back, it should have tipped me off that they're circle spinners. So there was one opened and then a whole bunch of sealed circle spinners from that set. It's one of the core sets. I want to say like M14 or thereabouts. I could be off by a year or two. Oh, this is wrapped really awkwardly. Like I have to cut through this to get through, but it's so thin. Like I don't want to cut through the material and cut like whatever's inside. It feels like it would be really easy to do. Okay, it's another promotional artwork for Destroy All Humanity. Oh, that's quite a wrapping job for this next little batch. Okay, that's interesting. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is going to be a good one. So here we have an Island, 4th edition. Quite badly misregistered. It is also alternate 4th. And the back is also misregistered. I like that. Ooh. Yeah, I actually cut through the top of that inner packaging. Good thing I didn't get a card. I have literally thousands upon thousands of foreign cards that have just been sent to me for free in various mailings. Oh, it's another blurred text Jared. So I think that means I have 3 of these now. Yeah. Some Japanese Zendikar commons. And this is, oh, hey. So here is a Zendikar foil that is quite badly waffle crimped and missing the bottom chunk of the card. Yeah. That is beautiful. I want to say that's a Canyon Jerboa. I might be wrong on that. That is pretty. I like you. That might be my best waffle crimp yet. I think we're getting to the home stretch. I think I've only have like 10 left, which means I've done like 100 of these. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is like number 101 right here. If my math is right. Send me some English cards. Oh, yep, well. And here is a 4th edition Mountain. Quite badly misregistered. Out of alignment. But it's also Alt 4th. From the same sheet as that Island a few cards ago. I think that's probably like all of the cards, like all of the singles, because all the stuff in the bottom of the package was like these bigger things, you know, that are more likely to be other things like sealed product or posters or t-shirts or, you know. Oh, okay, so I think I actually got 2 of this design accidentally. It's another Destroy All Humanity art card. Yeah, I can tell that this is closed just by the feel of it, so I'm not gonna use my knife if I can. Still managed to tear it. Opened it with my bare hands, still managed to tear it. Good job. Okay, what are you? Oh, Magic 10th Anniversary Japanese shirt. Fortunately, this does not look like it's the original bag, so no harm, no foul. I do remember there's something quite interesting in the back, though. Yeah. So this is a 10th Anniversary festival from Japan, and it shows all the different events that they had in tandem with it. So there's a Grand Prix, a Japan Junior, a high school championship, an Arena League, and an Amateur Open Japanese tournament, all in Yokohama in 2003. So I think that's quite an interesting little piece of history right there. Obscure event shirt. Large. Oh, that next one is exciting. Okay. Oh my. Alright, come on. Okay, so this is another piece of Destroy All Humankind promotional material. But this is actually a card box. It's Halloween themed. For some reason, I'm guessing it must have come out in, when was this, October 2020, I guess. It's really high quality, though. Like, it's feels like a firm plastic, but I think it's actually cardboard. Like, I don't know, like, how they did that. But this feels really nice. And in this little, here's one of those clear style folders. And it comes with the card separators. So I'm actually going to keep that in here like this. There we go. Now this is kind of a shame because this one actually got sent in some kind of Magic retailer kit. But they taped over everything. So I don't know what it is, but I actually collect like these envelopes. What a shame. I'm going to see if I can open this one without destroying it too much, because I kind of want to keep this anyways. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I wonder what was originally in here. I wonder if it's still what's originally in here, because I collect a lot of retailer mailings and stuff. I don't remember. Okay. It might be. So this is just a buttload of Japanese promotional posters. Here's that alternate art Liliana, and then here on the back, what set was that? War of the Spark, which shows all the different cards on it. And there's probably just like a dozen different posters in here, half a dozen to a dozen, I would say. From various time spans. I'll put this back in this envelope, and I wonder if I can, because it looks like it's taped on, can I just like excise this tape somehow, or maybe peel it off? Oh, that's taking paper. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it. Oh, that tore right through it. Oh no, 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 that's a good thing, because it tore down to the original surface. Okay, I got this. Okay, yeah, so this is a, it looks like a pre-release folder. because it has a date on it, and I'm guessing that's the do not open until like little date that they put on them. You know, like, there we go. So yeah, that's going to be a nice little addition to my collection. Whew. Yeah, now I think I have 4 left. We're getting into the really beefy stuff. Oh, jeez, okay. Hi, what are you? Bunch of paperwork, it feels like, and a box. Oh, finally. Okay. So for the 2001 high school championship in Japan, they released a VHS. Now, I already have one of these, but mine is still shrink wrapped, like it's sealed in the original packaging, and I didn't want to open it. So I had to hunt down a second copy that is already opened, so I don't have to feel guilty about it. So now I can rip this VHS and preserve a little more Magic history. I like that. Okay, here's a bunch more of these Deck Express periodicals, and some more of the Impress, a bunch of those periodicals, and then down here on the bottom it looks like a bunch of price sheets or ordering sheets of some kind. I'm not really sure what these are. Well, they have prices on them, and they're separated by all the different Magic colors. So I'm assuming that those must just be like price sheets that some shop was using. And then down here is also like an Urza's Legacy flyer in Japanese. And then, yeah, here's just like some retailer stuff. Pure Magic Grand Prix Nagoya. And here's like a whole flyer about Grand Prix Nagoya. And here's a flyer about another Grand Prix, Kyoto. And they come in this Eiko Udagawa. I don't know what that is. Some kind of anime folder, though. But I'll put this with my other paperwork. Oh, that's quite light. Okay, I wonder if this box might be another single. It feels empty. Like someone drastically overpacked something. Unless it's just like an empty box, which I would not put past me. Oh, it's quite small, but it's not empty. I'm going to guess that this is some kind of jewelry based on the shape. I want to say it's going to be one of those early, like 14 karat coated pins that they did back in like 96. And I'm getting more confident the more I'm opening this. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so this is just vintage licensed Magic jewelry. From one of the original series. They had them all come in these little cube trays. And so this is that one. And I think I already have this one, but I must have just gotten like a good deal on this. I don't know if mine comes with like a case, and if it does, I don't know if the case is in that good of condition. So, okay. This one feels a little bit more full, but still not that weighty. What is in you? Well, there's only 2 boxes left, and I can clearly remember one thing that I haven't seen yet, so it has to be either this one or the next one. And if this is 10 booster packs, then it's this one. Hey, what do you know? It's 10 booster packs. So, Journey into Nyx. Oh, The Gathering. All right. Those are kind of transparent, but not bad. What are you? Gate Crash. Gate Crash. Oh yeah. Card frame. Card frame. Okay, those are also transparent, but not bad. Modern Masters. Super bad. Super bad. Okay. Some Born of the Gods. Oh, that's pretty bad too. Planeswalker. Yeah, you can just read. In fact, down here, Planeswalker points right across there. I don't know if it comes across on camera, but yeah, you can like clearly see the card back here. Yeah. Planeswalker points right across there. You can clearly see the card frame on the back. Okay, not as bad as Modern Masters, but pretty bad. Journey into Nyx. Okay, yeah, this one is a little worse than the other Journey into Nyx. May 9th. Wizards.com/webcast. Yeah. Okay. And then Dragon's Maze. Yeah, not as bad, although, yep. Oh, look at that. That's super bad, right? Just in this one spot right there. Yep. So instant collection of the transparent packs. That's neat. Now I have left what is literally the biggest box by far, and I have no idea what's in this thing. It's probably going to be really boring, you know, because that's just how my life goes. It's going to be like I saved the biggest box for last, and it's going to be anticlimactic. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it's stuck. God, I hate when they do this. There's an inner package that is hot glued to the outer package. That's so obnoxious. Okay. And this inner package looks like software of some kind. Yeah, that's one of the Microprose games. Yeah, this box is in English though. I'm really impressed by the condition. Oh, there we go. So the front is all in English, the #1 strategy card game, and the back is entirely in Japanese, and it has a little Japanese sidebar down here. Yep. So I think that this is one of the versions that I was missing. I've got the American English, I've got the UK English, I've got the Korean, and now I've got the Japanese. I think I have one more too. Well, that wasn't that anticlimactic. Take off this outer layer that's not original packaging. And I don't think that, like, I really doubt if this has the original shrink wrap or anything like that left on it. No. Beautiful condition, though. So what I realize now that I have that outer layer off is what they did was they literally just took the English box and they have like this paper wraparound on it that they just like glued a new back panel onto this. Like they literally just reused the English boxes and just glued over it to make it Japanese. Yeah, so one video game, pile of misprints and various things. Up, getting away from me. Some boosters, mostly transparent. Free cards. Destroy all humankind bonus stuff. Apparel. Pretty good haul. Pretty good haul. Yeah, that was definitely a fun one. I'm not big on unboxing videos myself. I don't like watching them. I've made quite a few. I don't post them though because I always feel like they're boring. I think this one will be maybe a little less boring though. So I'll at least show it to some people. Anyways, that was my Japanese consolidation. I waited a year and a half for 109 packages, about twice the size of my normal Japanese consolidation. Usually do a handful of European consolidations, like maybe one Russian and 2 Japanese each year. But yeah, that's the show. I hope you enjoyed it.